Shalom Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahasham Yahwashi, double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone, and Shalom to Lek out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Brothers was sitting around, and brother brought up the show on Netflix, called The 13th. So brothers pretty much wanted to go through this, Lord willing, probably chop it up into segments, because it's pretty long. We're just going to go in the spirit with this, and the title of this lesson is going to be Collusion of Power, based upon the things in which Esau is doing. So for brothers to get that understanding, we can bring out the definition now.
Collusion. Collusion is an agreement between two or more parties, sometimes illegal and therefore secretive.
Exactly. That secretive agreement or so-called illegal agreement, which is in accordance with the scriptures, okay? The agreement that the head nation of our enemies, these Edomites and all the other nations. And what is that secret agreement? That secret counsel going into Psalms the 83rd chapter. Come on.
Bring it out right quick. This is Psalms chapter 83. I'm going to start at verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahawah. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Right, that crafty counsel. What, going into what? That secret agreement and a conclusion. Read that one more time out.
Collusion is an agreement between two or more parties, sometimes illegal and therefore secretive.
Right, secretive. So go back to that.
It says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent.
With one consent. That's that collusion. What? Two or more parties coming together in a secret agreement, man. So that's clearly according with the scriptures, man. Okay, so go ahead.
And it says, they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom.
Esau, go ahead.
The so-called white man. And the Ishmaelites.
The Arabs, okay.
Of Moab and the Hagarenes.
Okay.
Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek.
The Chinese, the so-called Chinese, so-called Japanese, Amalek, them devils, the so-called Jews, okay, which mainly run in society, okay.
The Philistines,
which is our Egyptians, go ahead.
The inhabitants of Tyre,
and what, Hamites.
Ashur, also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Salah.
Right, so that shows you all those different nations are in confederate against what? The Lord's chosen people, which are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. That collusion of power, that secret agreement of power in which they've made amongst themselves, what, to oppress our people and to keep us down in the state in which we're in now and to this day. So you can continue on with that definition.
It says, to limit open competition by deceiving, misleading, or defrauding others of their legal rights.
Right. To limit open competition, man. Okay? Because they see us as competition. Because we are the rightful rulers of the face of this earth, man. So they know that spirit, man. And it's within their spirit to go against our spirit because they know we are competitors, man. We are rivals. Since the birth of Jacob and Esau, we are rivals, man. This was destined, preordained by the Most High to be this way, man. So they're trying to limit all open competition, which is the Israelites. They don't really consider the other nations competition as they consider the Israelites because they know the righteous power that's backing us, man.
If I can add right quick, I'm saying, like you made mention earlier, Black Wall Street. Here it is. You seen the progression, and the success that they had once they came together. And what did the so-called white man do? Biblical name Esau. He brought bombs upon them. You know what I'm saying? He destroyed their businesses to where they had nothing left. So that's a case and example how this devil, the so-called white man, views us as competition.
It says, I'm going to read it again. To limit open competition by deceiving, misleading, or defrauding others of their legal rights. or to obtain an objective forbidden by law, typically by defrauding or gaining an unfair market advantage.
Right, by gaining what? An unfair market advantage, man. Everything within society is for the benefit of these devils, and it's not for us as the Israelites, man. You know, by them having the loopholes and different things through their laws and so on and so forth. And that's ultimately what this 13th Amendment, in which we're going to get into, is dealing with and is talking about, man. When you look at everything within the society, what advantages do us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have? None, man. But who has the upper hand? These devils in these other nations, you know, that come onto this country, man. You know, like I was just on a job earlier, and this is one guy, he always hounded me for his check, okay? And he's an immigrant, you know, a Polish or something like that, just came into this country, and all he do is sit on his ass and look for his check every damn week, man. Which goes to show you, if our people was to come over here, we not getting no advantages like them. We not setting up stores and setting up storefronts and having our own buildings, so on and so forth. But these other nations coming here and they're set up, okay? Because it's all within these devils' plan to keep us down. As long as the other nations is above us, they don't care. As long as the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they're not getting ahead, they're not getting above, man. You know?
If I could add, it says, or to obtain an objective forbidden by law. Now, we know that this world was made for our sakes, you know, and basically, the Most High, in the scriptures, the Most High, like, he was being funny at one point, I believe. Brothers always bring it out, how he was saying, like, if the moon and the sun go away, that's when Israel goes away, man. So they trying to set up laws and try to set up snares and traps, you know, to destroy us, man. Because if they do that, then the Most High is bound by his word. So if they do that, you know, then they would be the next rulers. But that's not going to be, man. All right, I have a precept, Jeremiah 50:7. All that found them have devoured them, and the adversary said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. So right, you know, they set up snares, hoping to build a bad rapport with us, man. I'm gonna get that definition.
You know, while the brothers getting it, you know, when brothers, you know, put on the documentary, you know, the 13th Amendment, you know, you're going to see the different snares that these devils came up with to further oppress the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you know, because, you know, when you look at the certain scenarios that these devils, you know, put out there, it's ultimately going contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father, you know. But what? Jake bit the bait, you know, so with him making that, bringing out that scripture, you know, these devils hold themselves not accountable because we bit the bait. You know?
And going into what the brother was saying, it says typically by defrauding or gaining an unfair market advantage, man. That, hey, you know, that sums it all up. It says, let me see, it is an agreement among firms or individuals to divide a market, set prices, limit production, or limit opportunities.
Right, to divide the market, man. You know, divide the market, you know, from the Edomites to the other nations to the Jakes, the Israelites. That's all at the bottom, man. Dividing the market. We can't get the top jobs within the society. We got to go through constant troubles. I've been constantly seeing different articles and people posting up things on you know, the alternative media talking about how, you know, like it was in the airplane pretty much. You had one Jake woman that was supposed to have been a doctor. Somebody had chest pain or on the airplane, but then she kept getting questioned, was she really a physician, asking what her credentials, asking all these questions while somebody was about there over the dock. But then the Edomite came, and then they said, nah, it's okay, man, and let him come up and deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So we see how with these different things, we're always discriminated against, man, and how they limited different things for us to constantly stay down. So you can read that part one more time.
It is an agreement among firms or individuals to divide a market, set prices, limit production, or limit opportunities.
Right, limit production, limit things that's built up within our communities. If something goes down in the Edomite neighborhood, they'll easily build that back up or restore that afresh. But when things happen in the hood, or whatever the case may be, things get forever to taken care of. The streets is all messed up, buildings is torn down, things never get done. Unless they want to gentrify the neighborhood, man. Sure. You know? But and they what's the last one said? What, limit opportunities. What opportunities do we really have here, man? You know? Jake work at mainly warehouse jobs, little ins and out jobs, but there's no real opportunities here as these devils have, man. You know, we at the bottom of everything within the society. This society is not for us, you know. Any last points?
Oh, Salaki, if I could add, and that's the false sense of hope that these Edomites, these devils, the so-called white man, you know, put as a plaque, you know, to frame America, the land of opportunity. This place is not an opportunity for the nation of Israel. A certain place which was designed to be a prison camp for the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians can't be a place of opportunity.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? So what? That was just a wicked device that the so-called white man came up with to further oppress our people, because that's psychological warfare. If you can make a certain group of people to believe there's hope, because that's what Barack Obama came with when he came into office as a so-called black man. You know, it gave what? A false sense of hope and what? Change. You know what I'm saying? In which the nation of Israel wasn't going to see that hope, nor will we see that change. You know what I'm saying? Because what? We're going to see that when Yahawah sends his son Yahawashi to bring these devils down. But as far as with Barack Obama, with him being a heathen and him working as a puppet under the elites, we're not going to see that hope nor change, man.
Yeah, you know, so, you know, with that, you know, this was just an introduction to us getting into this segment, the 13th Amendment. So without further ado, you know, we're going to get into these clips of edification and filter them through the scriptures.